Have you ever felt like you just don't quite fit in with the crowd? Like everyone around you is on one wavelength, and you're on a completely different one? It's a strange sensation, isn't it? Almost like you're tuned into a unique frequency, and suddenly, the people you used to feel at home with just seem alien. I've been there, and let me tell you, it can mess with your head. You start to question everything, the conversations you used to have, the things you used to care about. It all starts to feel kind of shallow. It's like you've been seeing the world in black and white. And then, out of nowhere, everything's in color. But not everyone can see those colors. And that's when the loneliness kicks in. It's not just about having fewer friends. It's about this transformation happening inside you. You start craving deeper connections, ones that actually mean something. It's not that you're turning into a hermit or anything. It's just that you're yearning for something more real. I know it sounds kind of out there, but this feeling isn't new. Throughout history, there have been people who felt the same pull towards solitude, monks, hermits, you name it. They believed that by getting away from the noise of everyday life, they could find some sort of deeper truth. But here's the thing, seeking solitude doesn't mean you have to become a recluse. It's more about finding that balance, taking some time for yourself to really listen to your own thoughts, without all the distractions of the world around you. And let me tell you, it's not easy. You start to notice things, like how you don't really enjoy small talk anymore, or how the usual gossip just doesn't do it for you. And yeah, it can be lonely sometimes. But here's the thing, as you start to embrace this journey, you start attracting people who are on the same wavelength as you. And then there's this other thing, this intensification of sensitivity. Suddenly, everything feels more like you're not just seeing anymore, you're really seeing and hearing. It's like you're actually listening for the first time. It can be a lot to handle, but meditation helps. It's like this tool for navigating all those intense emotions and sensations. Just taking a few minutes to sit in silence and really listen to yourself, it can make a world of difference. And then there's this whole quest for authenticity and truth. You start to realize that maybe the life you've been living isn't really you. You start questioning everything, your job, your relationships, your whole way of living. It's scary, for sure, but it's also kind of liberating. Like, you're finally starting to peel back all those layers and get to the real you. And yeah, it can be lonely sometimes, especially when you feel like no one else really gets it. But as you start to embrace this new sense of purpose, you start to attract people who do. And that's when things really start to change. You start to see the world in a whole new way, more connected, more compassionate. It's like this whole expansion of consciousness, Suddenly, you're not just living for yourself anymore, you're living for something bigger. And yeah, it's a journey, but it's one worth taking.